There's a lot to look forward to. This weekend, we've got the finals of the African Women's Cup of Nations, and we've also got some interesting clashes for the English Premier League and other leagues this weekend. And Selwyn Saki is with me in the studio.
Hi,
I know many of you, especially those who watch the program, we're expecting Abigail, but it's good to have you here, Selwyn. Let's talk about the games for the final of the African Women's Cup of Nations. You're seeing Cameroon play Mali tomorrow, and then the final, which is also tomorrow, is it? On Sunday, between...
No, the final is tomorrow, Saturday.
Tomorrow between Nigeria and South Africa. Interesting game. Are you surprised?
Well, yeah, because I was expecting Cameroon to be in the final because if you look at the tournament, they've been a better performance. They played so fantastically. It was unfortunate they lost on penalties to Nigeria, but even in that game, they were the best side. I went to the stadium with Benedict, and you could tell that they had a potential. Some of their players could even compete with the men, to be honest. But then, at the moment, they are going to play in the semi-final with Mali and Cape Coast. They've already beaten Mali.
They're going to play for third, fourth position.
And the person who, if you are third, you're going to get to qualify for the World Cup. So they're taking the first, second, and third for the World Cup. So that game is also very much important. People don't really concentrate on third and fourth games because they're like it's a waste of time. But there's something at stake in this one. So
it's going to be quite keen.
Quite keen for this one. And already Cameroon have beaten Mali in the group stage. So maybe Mali will try to revenge Cameroon once the World Cup as well. But then in the final, we're also going to see the two top sides. Also, they've met in a group stage whereby
That's what makes it interesting.
South Africa beat Nigeria 1-0 in that level, and then but in the final, it's going to be a different case.
Between Nigeria and South Africa, what team has been a better side in the tournament?
Well, South Africa has been a better side in the tournament. They've invested so much in them. They've been to the finals, and this will be their fourth time being to the final, and they've never ever won anything. But Nigeria, anytime Nigeria is in the final, they definitely touch the trophy.
And looking at the statistics, they are, what, 9 times, 10 times champions?
Exactly, 9-time champions, and far up. And South Africa has been to the finals 4 times. They've never won. Nigeria have been there all the time. They've won it 9 times.
So you think experience could give them the upper hand?
But in this era of football at the moment, it's like so many jinx have been broken, and it looks like South Africa could take the opportunity to get this one. They have to, because if they don't get this one, I don't see them winning it anytime.
All right, so you make a date with our sports team on TV, radio. We'll be bringing you all the updates you need to know on the finals of the African Women's Cup of Nations. Unfortunately, Ghana could not host and win. Sad, sad, sad. We were all hoping that the girls could go for it. But after the match, I'm sure we'll do a lot of analysis, post-mortem, and see how we can reorganize our football and also our girls in the under-17.
And by even that, the Black Queens have been nominated for one of the best African women's team. But we are not going to the World Cup. Yeah, we are not going to the World Cup.
Sadly. So, I mean, you're looking at the progress of the game, and it's quite sad where we sit as a nation. But let's move away from the African Women's Cup of Nations and talk about interesting fixtures for this weekend.
Well, yeah, we have so many derbies this weekend. We have the West London derby, which is Chelsea versus Fulham. We have the North London derby, which is Tottenham versus Arsenal Emirates. Then we have the Merseyside derby, which is Liverpool versus Everton in the Premier League. These are top games, and they're all being packed to Sunday, which they've labeled it as Super Sunday. So we have a lot of big games to watch. We are going to watch the Premier League. As well as that, we are going to have Manchester United also going to play Southampton this weekend. Then with La Liga, also more fixtures to come in there. But with the Premier League this Sunday, these are the games that we are going to be looking at. Chelsea versus Fulham, Arsenal versus Tottenham. These are huge games. With the last time we saw Chelsea play against Arsenal, we saw the results that came in. Liverpool was also on form. Tottenham beat Chelsea the last time. So playing against Arsenal, they're going to put all their...
They beat Chelsea miserably. You need to add that. You need to add that it was a miserable loss. Well, hopefully Chelsea can do something. Seeing how they performed yesterday during the Europas, is it?
Yeah, they did. And they also did some changes to rest some players. Arsenal also rested 10 players yesterday in their win in the Europa League just for this fixture. So you can see that all these teams are meant. Liverpool as well, losing in the Premier League, in the Champions League, and playing this time against their actual rivals Everton. They are going to put in all against them.
All right, thank you so much, Selwyn Saki, there with the latest from the world of sports. And that's how we wrap up this edition of JoyNews Desk. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Benis Abubedu Lansa. Mapito CBD is next with JoyNews Interactive.